Well, welcome to YHC TV Hometown Hero program today, and hope you enjoyed our last program with Joe Russ Brown. And today we really have a good opportunity to bring you a couple of Bloomfield natives, the twins, or Elmer and Delmer Underwood of Bloomfield. And welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You bet. And Delmer, your wife's here today with us, Miss Jean. She's seated over here.
Yeah.
We're glad she's along. And Elmer, you've lost your wife a few years ago.
Yes.
How many years ago was it?
About 19 years.
But 19 years. Okay. Well, anyways, we're sure glad to have you today. And they are the father. Their father was Roy Underwood, and their mother was Josie. Is that right?
That's right.
And they had Elmer had Ronnie, Dennis, and Karen. And I went to school with all of those. Yeah. And Delmer had Dale.
Right.
And Dale's no longer with us. He lost Dale a few years ago. But really, they live side by side here in Bloomfield and have been in business together all those years when they come back out of the service. And both of them attended Bloomfield School. And when did you graduate Bloomfield?
We had one in service. We got honorary there.
Well, they graduated in 2001. They got honorary diplomas from the Governor Holden in 2001, and got a big certificate and quite a remarkable thing. They had joined the Army beforehand and didn't get to finish school because their services was needed, and they went to serve the country. And as you can see here behind us, they was in the 101st Airborne out of Kentucky. And even to this day, the 101st Airborne are quite remarkable. They're active in every conflict across the world if they're needed. And they was a superior machine then as they are today. And we're quite thankful for that. Now, they've both been active in the community. Which one of you was mayor of Bloomfield? I forgot.
Delmer.
Delmer was mayor at one time and served on the school board. Elmer served on the school board, and both of you were in the Masons, wasn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really a good organization, isn't it?
Yeah. We're 32nd.
Yeah. And let's see, Delmer, you and Jean will be having an anniversary back in June, is that right? July, okay, July, and it'll be 66 years.
Right.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, growing up as twins, I know you had to have fun with that. For years, and even to this day, I still have trouble telling you apart. But I can, but I have to really study. And then after they got back out of service, they had jobs, of course, but they ran 2 filling stations, full service stations for a while, Phillips 66, I believe, and one of them was here in town and one at Aquila. And that was certainly a good service. And you guys went in when you were 18 years old into the Army, is that right? Yeah. And you went in, like I say, to the 101st Airborne. Now, as soon as you went in, did they ask you what you wanted to serve in, Elmer?
Well, yeah, they tried to get us to go to the Marines, and we wouldn't go.
Did they?
We examined up the difference in the barracks. They wanted us to go to the Marines, but we didn't want to go.
I see.
So we ended up going to an Armored outfit and took our basic training.
I see.
4th Armored in Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Uh-huh. Now, you also went to a camp down in Arkansas.
Yeah, we went through a basic up at Louisville. We went down to Camp Shelby, Arkansas with the 16th Armored.
I see.
And that's where we volunteered as the paratroopers.
Was it? Now, Delmer, they ask you why didn't they have an incentive for you to be in the 101st Airborne? Was a little bit more money?
Yeah, $50 a month.
$50 a month more, and something else.
A pair of shiny boots and a set of wings.
And a set of wings.
Yeah.
Well, if I remember what you said in the preliminary, it wasn't quite worth it, was it?
No. No, you're a volunteer.
Yeah, yeah. And then when you went to Fort Campbell in Kentucky, that's where you practiced your jumps after you got out of basic?
No, we went down to Phoenix, Alabama.
Fort Benning.
Fort Benning, Georgia.
Fort Benning, Georgia.
That's where we went through jump school at.
Yeah.
Fort Benning, Georgia.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about those jumps, Delmer.
Well, you got 4 weeks of training. You jump out of a 34-foot tower, then you advance there to 250-foot tower, a buddy seat. You have 2 in it, and they draw you up 250 feet in there, and then to release it, you fall about 100 foot, and you really scare you.
Part of your stomach stays up there for a minute, don't it?
Then you pack your own chute, and then you go plane, and you jump out.
Well, tell us, Elmer, about your first jump.
Well, all you had to do was just get in the door, and the jump master sees you got out. If you got up in that door, they'd put you out.
Yeah. Delmer, did you, when you was in the plane getting ready to jump, were you together or were you separated?
Yeah, you lined up 12, lined up in a line.
Yeah.
With a
Static.
Huh?
Static cable.
Yeah, you had a cable running through the plane, and you hook your chute up to that, and you go down there, and then you go out the door.
Yeah.
It had this cable down through there. It had a static line. You snapped it on that cable.
Yes, sir.
And when you run down the door and jumped out, and when you jumped out and fell through, the cable pulled the pack off your parachute, and it started opening up.
I see.
You had a cord called a brake cord.
Yes,
and
sir.
they told us if it didn't work, take it back and get a new one.
Well, did anybody ever hesitate at that door?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what happened then?
Yeah, that boy kicked you out. You get on the ground, about everybody kicked you out. You get on the ground and say, boy, he didn't kick me that time. He just kicked the far out of him.
Well, after you completed your training there at Fort Campbell, what happened next?
We went overseas.
You went overseas, okay. And you didn't fly over there, if I'm not mistaken.
Ship.
Went on a ship. Now, if I remember right, that ship wasn't very seaworthy, was it?
No, it was an English or French ship, I forget which. The Frenchman running it, and the English ship, I think it was, and a very small one.
And the drinking water wasn't very good either, was it?
Well,
No.
we had salt water.
Salt water. Well, did the other boys drink all the good water?
Frenchman did.
They got a lot of fresh water, but the crew got ahead and drunk it. And we, all you got once in a while, we got some fresh water. Most of it's salt water. It's pretty rough.
And I suppose that made you sick, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
sickness.
Now, was that, did you get seasick being on that thing too?
But a lot of them did.
A lot of them did.
Yeah.
Now, when you was on that airplane and being ready to be jumped out, were you armed then? You already had your rifles with you?
I had all your equipment with
You had all your equipment with you. I assumed that, but I wasn't for sure. Now, the whole time you were in the service and in the fighting situation, being the fact that you were twins, I think you requested to stay together. Is that correct?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And if I remember right, now was it before then or after then that they had some brothers that was on a...
Yeah, them 5 brothers got drowned in the Navy. All 5 of them got drowned.
All 5. Now, and did they change the ruling then?
Wouldn't let brothers stay together.
Wouldn't
but they
let
would let twins that request it.
I see. Now, they tried to separate you one time when one of you was...
He had a little, something on his hand, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sent him to PX or the, what does they call it, the Army? Anyway, they sent him down.
Yeah. And you all had to remind them, didn't you? That
yeah, we had to go down and remind them, and they took me right off right fast.
well, good. Uh, and I know, when you got over there and jumped out into the battle situation. After you jumped out and landed on the ground, was it pretty much instant defending yourself then, or did you land right in the middle of a battle, or?
Oh no, most times we take care of yourself.
Yeah, I see. Now, I know you were bound to have been in several battles, but I know one in particular was the Battle of the Bulge.
We had 3 major battles.
Were you?
3 major battles.
Were you? And tell me about the first one, if you can.
What's
It was all France, and we was in France and Belgium and Germany and all.
Were you?
And Bastogne was in
Bastogne.
Was in Belgium.
Uh-huh.
Bastogne.
And the worst of those was the Battle of the Bulge. Is that correct?
That's the man.
Yeah.
That was the turning point of the war.
Is the turning point of the war.
It was blowing up right then.
And I heard you say earlier that you would, at some particular time, that a whole division of Germans would surrender.
They thought they'd come over. They sent the Germans sent their people over to ours with a white flag and told us that they had us surrounded for us to give up.
Yeah.
That's when that major said, or no, I don't know if it was, no, he was major.
He was major then, yes.
Yeah, he said nuts, and they wanted to know what that meant. And one of the old boys, interpreter, said, well, in plain English, it means go straight to hell.
Yeah. Oh. And I know
6 days we were surrendered.
Pardon?
6 days we were surrounded. No way out.
6 days.
Dig deeper in the ground.
My goodness. And one time you advanced. I know one time you advanced and was able to get in some what used to be German foxholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
They dug good ones.
they dug good ones, didn't they? Well, if I understand right, it wasn't 70 degrees either, was it?
No.
It was 0, probably below.
0 or below.
Snow knee deep.
Now, was the battle night and day, or both, or would it let up at times?
Yeah, it let up a little.
I
We
guess
had
it would,
snow
yeah.
for about 3 days.
Yeah. Well, I know one time there, I believe you was kind of dug in one of the foxholes there, and you tried to give your feet a little bit of relief, and you took your boots off. Is that correct?
Yeah, got them full of snow.
Got them full of snow.
I put mine under the blankets, them German blankets.
Yeah. Well, was they plumb full of snow the next morning?
Yeah, well,
Full of snow and froze.
Full of snow and froze. Well, I know at one time both of you had to go to the hospital because of your feet had gotten frozen.
Both,
Yeah, boy. And I know what it's like to have cold feet, and that's not fun. But not only your feet, you were cold all over.
Oh, yeah.
All over.
Feet got froze.
And you wasn't the only one. Everybody around you was
Whole division.
in the same mess. And you had a partner there. I guess he was in your same company, and he didn't like to take his boots off.
That's right. And he didn't know his feet. Well, they had to take them. They had to take them. They had to take them off.
Yeah, he had his boots laced real tight. Is that right?
Yeah, he would never take them off.
Wouldn't ever take them off, and that don't give your feet time to circulate and cool off and warm up and what have you.
He went to field hospital with us, but then they took him on back to England, I believe, wasn't it? And they said they lost. Back to the company had lost both feet.
Yeah, and you probably never heard from him again.
No, I never heard him.
No. Now, how long were you in that Army hospital when you were had your feet?
We were, a couple of weeks?
I imagine that.
And how far was it from the battlefield?
Not very far.
Not very far.
Not very far. Just a little field hospital back there.
Yeah, but they took pretty good care of you there, didn't they?
Yeah, best they could, yeah.
And then it came the time to either get up, get better, or get worse? What happened then?
Yeah, well, the doctor there in charge of the hospital was really good.
Was
He
he?
kept us as long as he possibly could.
Did he?
He just hated to send us back to the front line.
Uh-huh.
He kept us in there long.
You hate to get up out there and it'll go up back on that line.
Yeah, but I just can't imagine. I really can't. But anyways, they sent you right back to the front lines, didn't
Right back to front.
Went back to the company.
they? Yeah.
We had to check in and get our equipment. When we went to the hospital, we had to turn all of our guns and everything like that in.
Did you?
And when we went back, we had to stop through a depot they got where they had guns. And we had to stop and get us a gun in there.
Yeah. Was there? I think it was you, Delmer, that told me you had a real close call with a heavy caliber.
Yeah.
Tell us.
88 mortar.
88 mortar
Well, that's that.
fell right beside
It's
you.
a dud.
It was a dud.
Yeah.
You could look down and see it.
You can see it, yeah.
My goodness.
Very big.
Oh
Sticking
my.
in the ground, yeah.
The Germans could really handle that 88 mortar. That was
Could
the
they?
main one. Yeah,
Yeah,
could really
yeah.
handle it.
And
Another on that same deal, they'd run out of lieutenants. And all we had was out of the kitchen. I forget what they called them now. They were trained. He was out of the kitchen, and he was in charge of us. We carried ammunition, and we was going in that snow, and we kind of get from one patch of pine trees to another one.
Yeah.
And snipers started shooting at us, and he hollered, "Hit the ground!" Out there in the middle of that snow, hitting the ground, we run.
I don't doubt it. My
He
goodness.
didn't know what was going on.
Well, no. Now, something happened to the hospital.
They said it blowed it up after we left out. We got right close to war zone.
Yeah.
They said they blowed it up.
And the Army then had no records of you guys
No.
Loaded up.
having any problem with your feet, did they? I don't guess it did any good to tell them, but it was done. They didn't have no records. I expect a lot of records got destroyed.
Oh,
Yeah. Now, that colonel you talked about earlier, his name was Harper,
Yeah,
that later on became General Harper.
yeah.
Now, the Germans waved a white flag, you said.
Yeah, they come under a white
They come over
flag.
and surrender.
Yeah. Now, when they gathered up out there to talk, how many people from each side gathered up? 2 people or 3, 4?
I just don't know.
Did you
There was
see
just
them?
about 3 of them.
No, I didn't see them.
You didn't see
There
them?
was about 3 of them, I think, Germans
Was
came
they?
over.
Yeah. Did they kind of meet in the middle of the battleground, or
Yeah, they just call and they come over to our
your lines?
Where part we was, but they come
Yeah.
over to our outfit.
I see.
Wave the flag. Wanted us to surrender. They had us surrounded, which we knew that.
Yeah.
They wanted to surrender.
Huh.
But,
They didn't stay long.
They didn't stay long. He sent them packing, didn't they?
They sent them back. Old Harper did.
Yeah.
And they came in on his area, see, we
Yeah.
was charged of.
Yeah. And he later on became a general, didn't he?
Yeah.
our regular general over the company was in the States when that was going on. He come,
Was he?
General Taylor.
Taylor.
He was in the States when that was some kind of army doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, really some interesting information here, guys. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll come back and do a little more
Okay.
looking around.
Hi, I'm State Representative Terry Swinger. Parent involvement in a child education is a major factor in determining success. When parents participate, children have improved grades and attendance, and they experience a decrease in violence and substance abuse. Involvement can be as easy as chaperoning a field trip or volunteering in the classroom. So stay involved with your children. It is the single most important thing you can do to help them grow and learn.
With an interactive home security system from New Wave, your family comes home to peace of mind. Now we bring you the future of home security. Arm and disarm your system remotely from your office computer or iPhone. Even look in on family or pets with live video from inside your home. In an emergency, our 24/7 alarm monitoring responds with the help you need. Peace of mind wherever you are. Now available from New Wave Communications.
Okay, we're back with our Elmer and Delmer Underwood are twins from Bloomfield. We finished our first segment, and we're going to talk just a little bit more about some of those battles. Elmer, the first battle there, tell us where it was at, the first major battle you was in.
What now?
The first major battle, where was it at? What city or was
It was in France.
in France?
Uh-huh.
And Delmer, about how long did that battle take place?
I
know.
don't know.
But
It's about him 2 or 3, couple of months probably. Something
really,
like that.
my goodness.
Of course, he wasn't fighting all the time. A lot of times he'd stay for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, he'd push back and push backwards and forwards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And,
We was on the Rhine.
We
River.
were,
pardon?
We was on the Rhine River when President Roosevelt died.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
we was on the Rhine River. We was on
Yeah.
one side of the river, and
My goodness.
they the Germans on the other side of the Rhine
Yeah,
River.
yeah.
We stayed there a good long while.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Now, when you crossed that river, how did you cross it? It's a big river.
well, pontoon bridges they built across.
Did they? Huh.
Funny thing, queer about that, our cook sergeant was a master sergeant, or it was his from Germany. He come over here. He went back over there, and his
Yeah.
folks lived in that town.
Oh,
He went over there, and we got slowed down. We got the church there. He went over and seen him, visit him.
well, I'll be. Huh.
Yeah.
Now, when you'd advance, I guess that would be a different amounts of space, wouldn't it? It might be 100 yards. It might be a quarter mile, I guess,
Yeah.
or it might be backwards, as you say.
101st, we moved around a lot. Like
Did ya?
We might be in with England fighting with them today.
Yes, sir.
In 2 or 3 days, we might be in France. Wherever they needed us,
Oh, I see.
we went in.
Yeah.
We went all everywhere like that. And
Huh.
they took us and put us in.
We got a lot more places than the regular infantry went, because they move us in, jump us in quick. And
Yeah.
hot places, that's where we went.
My
Jump us
goodness,
in.
really. Now, you had to load up in the plane and jump out other areas, didn't you? Didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't just jump out one time over there, did
Oh,
you?
no.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
They can move us around quick,
Yeah.
jump us in.
A lot of times we went in cattle trucks.
Oh, I'll be. Huh.
It was,
Yeah. Now the second battle, major battle that you was in, where was it? Where did it take place?
I think it was probably in Germany, I guess.
Was it?
Yeah, I can't remember Germany. I want to remember the Battle of Bulge. It was in Belgium.
Yeah.
Bastogne, Belgium.
Yeah. And how long did that battle take place, you
It
think?
lasted about a month, didn't it?
About a month.
Yeah, long time.
All through Christmas.
Oh my. Oh my. And I guess you did the same thing there. You was finally able to advance.
They was all like, just about like.
Yeah. Huh.
We took prisoners in. It's unbelievable.
Was it?
Yeah.
Now, was the prisoners, what kind of demeanor did they have about themselves when they gave up? Did they?
They
Was
just glad to get away and get
glad-
something to eat.
was
Most of them get
They was, a
something
lot
to
of them was glad to give up, because they
Really?
just like that little old girl had that compass hanging on her.
Yeah, yeah,
She was give up.
eat.
Yeah.
They're glad to give up and get in and get some rest and get something to eat, mostly something to eat.
yeah. Now you were armed with just the M1 rifle and sometimes a bazooka. Is that correct?
Yeah, we had a pistol, and
Pistol.
a jump knife, had a knife.
And grenades? Did you have grenades?
Had them tied all over.
Oh my goodness! Oh me. And
The German called us the bloody butchers with the big
That's
knives
what
out
Miss
like
Roosevelt said. We ought to be brought back to the States.
that.
now, what other generals did you happen to see while you were over there?
I saw Patton.
Did you see General Patton? Eisenhower?
Eisenhower, and what was that big general from England? What was his?
I don't know. So we sold the wheel over London. What was his name?
Yeah, several, but I can't think of their name now.
Yeah.
England and France and then Belgium.
Huh.
Well, Eisenhower, he was there, and Patton was there,
Yeah.
and
There's a big difference between the two, though, wasn't there?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
That Patton was something else.
Yes, that's what I heard.
We were with his army several different times.
Yeah.
When they needed us, we go
Yeah.
to his army. You always tell when you got near the army, you had to shape up.
I know Doug O'Neill, a friend of mine lives close by. His father was served under Patton.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's
And
rough.
yeah.
I've seen him several times.
We was with
Yeah.
all them armies, and we could tell when we went to Third Army,
Really?
you back soldier again.
One time we was going up, I don't remember now where we was going up the front line, and they was coming back.
Were
We
they?
meet a lot of Jeeps with head covers, everything on them.
Yeah.
Finally here come an old Jeep down through there with no top or nothing. Pat sat down them big pearl handle 45s he had.
Now, and Patton didn't make it home, did he?
No, he
I
died.
he
He
got killed over somewhere down there hunting
one
or
of
something. I
one
think.
of bird hunting or something, I think.
Was it? I thought he got killed in his Jeep.
Maybe it was.
Well,
I don't
some
know.
way,
Yeah, he
yeah.
got killed on the one.
He was buried over there, and
He got
Was he?
killed over there. I know
Yeah.
that.
Huh.
After the war's over with.
Yeah. Now, where was you at when you finally decided, when you got news that the war was over?
I guess it was Burgess Garden, wasn't
yeah.
Where?
it? Burgess Garden,
Burgess Garden.
Germany.
Huh.
That was Hitler's own private resort and everything like that, kind of like Hollywood, you know.
Yeah, tell us a little bit. You were in the area where Hitler's, his main area. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it was really nice.
Was
It
it?
had nice homes, and they had to put that over in that mountain up there, what they call a crow's nest up there where he lived and everything. They blowed it up, you know. But it was really, really nice. And the houses there in Burgess Garden where the rich people lived.
Was it?
And they were really nice.
I tell you, one time he tell you about that. Our cook was from Germany.
Yeah.
Okay, we ran out of food one time, and they wanted somebody to GI license, truck license, and I had them, and I drove him back to a different town to
Yeah.
get some food, and there was a bunch of women there. He knew them.
He did.
Boy, they got into it talking, and I tell you, it was really something.
Well, that's neat. Now, when you found out the war was over, was you actually in a battle then, or was you in
I
a?
think we were back, well, we've been in, but I think they pulled us back.
They pulled you
for
back?
rest, Yeah, I think when,
Yeah.
I forget what, we pulled us back, hadn't they?
And
I think so.
were you pretty close to
Oh,
Hitler's?
yeah, we was right on, you hear it.
Did
They
you?
pull you back off the front line, but
Yeah.
you still, artillery and shells still going over.
Was they?
But there wouldn't be no small ammunition,
Yeah.
machine gun and stuff like that.
And I know a lot of the Germans were wanting that war to be over also, and there were several attempts to get Hitler
Yeah.
done away with by his own.
I don't see how one man got much power.
No, well, I don't either. I don't either.
He had more power than anybody could ever have.
Yeah, that's true. And I heard you make a comment earlier. I asked you if you ever thought that we might have to surrender to Germany.
No.
And that's a good answer. I'm amazed at how quick he gave that answer. And it just thrills me.
I'm really going to surrender.
It just thrills me through and through that he gave us that answer. All right. And then when it was over, you had to plan on getting home.
Yeah, we had to stay for about 2 or 3 months.
You had to
Put that
stay.
parade on it.
Now,
Boy, it wasn't very happy neither. When they get called letter from home,
Yes, sir.
somebody getting discharged, and
Yeah.
went in after they did.
Yeah.
And they were still over there.
and they get to come home before you go.
I think they afraid to bring us home. Where everybody go over the hill, and they would have trouble control them. You know,
Yeah.
they keep them over there. And they
Now, what did you do that 3 months? Just kind of whatever you wanted to do?
No, we
No
had to
training
practice.
for that parade.
We had to practice to put on that parade.
Yeah.
Companies, battalions, all going in together and doing.
You did parades over there in
Yeah.
in France?
Yeah.
Had to draw new equipment, clean it up.
Oh my! And now, when you came home, when you started home, they didn't put you on a destroyer or anything. What kind of? You didn't fly home.
No, we come home with Queen Mary.
Came home on the Queen Mary, and that was quite a
That's quite a deal.
deal, wasn't it?
Quite a deal.
An English ship.
I guess it and the Queen Elizabeth is two of the largest ships there is.
Yeah.
They both belong to England, you know.
Yes, sir.
There's something else.
Just
like being in a little town like Queen Mary.
I
They
bet.
had- They had everything on it.
What was it? Was it 200 or 300 feet long, or?
Oh, yeah.
It's as long as a football field, I guess. It's three stacker.
3 stacker.
Yeah.
My goodness, my goodness.
They
And
had a bunch of English war brides, or American war brides on the top
oh, were they?
coming home too.
Now were they French or German
Well,
or?
yeah, they were French, German, anyway, but
Really?
American boys married them.
Yeah?
And they were coming home.
Well, I'll be, huh?
They was on the top deck.
Oh, heck, huh?
Because we wasn't allowed up there.
Now, you told me, Delmer, I think, about the German people being really nice to you.
Yes, they were.
Well,
Not all of them.
not all of them. No, no, no. They some of them had
The
sons.
regular German people like us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they was.
Huh. And like we was talking about earlier too. Now the Germans were real machinists, weren't they? They could build anything they wanted to
They're
build.
really intelligent.
Yeah, they really
German people are
were.
intelligent.
And to this day, you hear of Swiss watches and German-made watches, but they were really talented.
They took us to Austria once. So
Did
when
they?
it was the German, what was them German, them ruffians? That was Hitler's regular force.
SS troopers.
Huh?
SS troopers.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
sir.
were really mistreating them civilians.
Were they?
They killed them and doing everything.
My goodness.
And they took a bunch of us. We went to Austria. We cleaned her up.
My goodness. And that was all that was mountainous country, but
Alp Mountain.
yeah.
Down in Burgess Garden, that was all Elf Mountain up in there.
Snow all the time.
Yeah. Well, when you finally got on that boat to go home, well, that was a tremendous feeling, wasn't it?
Sure was.
Yeah.
Well, the majority of us didn't think you'd ever make it, you know.
Yeah.
Our chances were pretty slim that we did make it.
Yeah.
And got on that boat and coming home.
We got to Jefferson Barracks. That was really made a feeling. That's where they really fed us.
Yeah.
They really put it to us.
Landed in New York City, boy, or something, got off that gangplank.
Now, if I remember right, in our preliminary, I think you told me you started out with 12 people in your company, or 10?
Squad.
In a squad?
Yeah.
There was 12,
Uh-huh.
and when they came home, there was 3 of them. They were the twins and one other fella.
Squad leader.
And what was his name?
Nunez. Lester Nunez.
Yeah, tell us about Nunez. You told me some in our preliminary.
He's from France. Some over down in New Orleans, Louisiana, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Louisiana, somewhere, I don't remember now.
Uh-huh.
He could talk French, but over there he couldn't understand their French.
He couldn't understand their French.
There's a Cajun like that,
Yeah.
down in the alley.
Yeah. Have you heard it from him since you
No, I
hadn't ever heard from him again?
One guy we heard from,
Did
and
you?
he come by one time,
Did he?
and we used to get a letter from him. He died 2 or 3 years ago.
I see.
He's red-headed.
Uh,
He was dandy.
uh.
He was from up in Illinois, wasn't he?
Hmm?
Oh, Simmons. He was
Jimmy
here.
Simmons.
He's
He
in,
come see us up there once,
Did he?
and he stopped the whistle, and I told him about where he's at and everything. You know?
Yeah.
Well, he come in down there, and we visited, and he wanted to know the bathroom. I said, well, right down there.
Yeah.
And his wife and his kids, something.
Yeah.
And she said, no, we don't need to go. He popped off to the time, and I told him, he's pretty smart, ain't he? When he coming back out, we recognized him.
I'll be, huh?
he was a company runner.
Was
He
he?
was pinned down all the time.
Yeah. And he would run and pass information on
Yeah.
or bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I know he had some lead thrown at him.
He
most
had the
definitely.
close ones.
Yeah. Now, when you got back to New York, I know you said that was a thrill walking off that game plank, and they gave you the keys to the city and
Yeah,
and
past the Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden. My.
There's something back then.
How many people was there?
Oh, there's a whole ship of it. I don't know.
I mean, was the whole town there watching you and
Oh,
celebrating
yeah.
with
Oh,
you?
yeah, they were lined up. It was unbelievable.
But they've been advertising we coming home, you know, we're going to put on a parade in New York City.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody's out there to see us.
The Statue of Liberty looked a lot better when we come back this way than went the other way.
Oh, me. And
we walked down that, put on a parade down Fifth Avenue. I'm telling you, they had balloons and paper and everything. People out of the windows, you couldn't get down the street for them stuff they throwing out.
I'll be.
Cover paper like they do, you know.
Yeah. Now, you told me you're 101st Airborne, was one of the most highly decorated.
That's right.
Hit in 82nd.
It in 82nd, and that is why they took you to New York, wasn't it?
We put on that parade in New York
and
City.
put on
to
that-
represent the other outfits.
To represent the other outfit. Well, that's quite a remarkable.
Yes, it is.
Our division, 101st Airborne, was the first one to get a presidential citation.
My goodness.
From the president.
Well, I'll be. Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Now, when you was telling me you had to clean your rifles, was that on the ship?
No, we done it before we got on.
You done it before you got on.
Yeah,
They
that's
gave
what
you brand new guns for the parade. Is that
Clean
right?
them all up.
Cosmoline, they call it, yeah.
Yeah, they had them coated with cosmoline, and that was hard to get off, wasn't it?
That's hard to get off.
And we had to shine them with shoe polish.
Had to shine your boots every time you turned around. You had to shine them boots.
Well, at least your feet was warm in them boots, wasn't it? And how often was you issued new socks? Any at all, Harley? I know.
What?
New socks?
Socks?
Yeah.
Oh, not very often.
Not very often.
You wore them a long time.
Was they wool socks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they wore
Wool socks? Yeah, I figured it was
Like old
wool.
Army GI socks.
Yeah, And those boots, they didn't have what they call that insulation in them
Oh,
now.
no,
They
they
just,
were
Regular
they're the
old-
old boots.
Jump boots. So
And they wouldn't repel water. They'd get soaked with water and everything else,
Water
wouldn't
went right in them.
Hi, I'm State Representative Terry Swinger. Parent involvement in a child education is a major factor in determining success. When parents participate, children have improved grades and attendance, and they experience a decrease in violence and substance abuse. Involvement can be as easy as chaperoning a field trip or volunteering in the classroom. So stay involved with your children. It is the single most important thing you can do to help them grow and learn.
Okay, we're back from another little break, and men, I don't guess were both of you single at that time when you was in the service?
Yeah.
Well, if you're like most young men, I bet you had some sweethearts back at home, didn't you?
Do what now?
You had a sweetheart back at home, probably, didn't you?
They did well.
Well, I knew it's hard to write a letter when you're being shot at, but did you write a few letters and send them home?
Once in a while.
Well,
They
good.
got that.
We didn't flood the market with them. We wrote
Yeah.
one once in a while.
And I guess you got a letter from the sweeties too, didn't you?
Yeah, a lot of
And
them.
that was a blessing, wasn't it?
Sure was.
Yeah, I just can't hardly imagine. Now, when did they ask you what you wanted to eat?
They never did ask me. They gave it to you.
Well,
He just brought it to you.
I mean,
When
you got back.
Oh, yeah, they would ask us what we wanted.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we wanted steak, french fries, and milk, sweet milk.
and that's about what all of them asked for, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a good steak. That's in New.
It was a good steak.
That was in New York, right?
Yeah.
New York steak. It was a good one.
Was it on the ship or was
No,
it
it was a mess hall up there.
in the mess hall? I see. And Miss Jean, I know you're sitting over here now, but while they were over there, I asked you the other day if you were Rosie the Riveter, and I think you said you was working in St. Louis. In what was that name of the place?
I don't know, I told you yesterday.
Yeah, well, she was a welder. She was a Rosie the Riveter,
Things together.
and she welded some little deals together, and then after the war, that kind of came to a close. And when you got back to Bloomfield, wasn't that a wonderful feeling?
It sure was.
And how long did you? I know both of you said you were 21 when you got married, but when you got back to Bloomfield, how long was it before you had a bride?
I got married, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, not too long. I didn't. I don't know, it was about a couple months.
Yeah, Delmer?
But he's
But when I got married,
Yeah.
6 months. I
6
guess,
months.
wasn't it?
He didn't fool around.
I got
did
married before he did.
he? Yeah.
Went to Arkansas. Pickett.
Did you? Huh. Now, did you have a job waiting on you when you got home?
Yeah.
Bennett's Wholesale.
Bennett's Wholesale. How long did you work for Bennett's Wholesale?
All together?
Yeah.
Probably 8, 10 years, wasn't it?
8 or 10 years. Well, that's And when you was over there, did you see any Bloomfield natives when you was overseas?
One boy, Dal Kingry.
Oh, Dal Kingry, huh? Did you get a chance to visit with him any?
Yeah, we
Yeah, we saw him several. We in the same division.
Yeah, same division.
We pulled it back for front lines to the rest area in Marmelon, France, and we got a little pass to Reims, France,
Yeah.
and we run on to him in there in Reims, France.
Well, that's good to see a hometown buddy,
yeah,
wasn't it?
sure was. That's the only one I seen in time I left here.
Yeah, I'll be, huh?
I knew him. We knew him back here in the
Oh,
States,
yeah, I knew you probably did. Probably played ball with him, didn't you?
He's
Yeah.
a good old boy.
Yeah.
He bothered nobody.
Yeah. And far as honeymooning, did you honeymoon in Bloomfield?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
yeah. Probably down to Alton College.
And but you finally did get to take a honeymoon, probably 30
we
years
won-
later, wasn't it?
We won 3 vacations.
Won a free vacation from Phillips Oil Company.
Yeah.
Acapulco and Ruba Island and
Ruba.
Yeah, Ruba.
San Juan, Puerto. We didn't go to San Juan, Puerto Rico. We didn't
Yeah,
want to go.
yeah.
We went to Acapulco and Ruba Island.
Yeah. Now, how old was you when you got to do that, Miss Jean? You probably know that. Were you 50, probably 50 years old when you got to go on that trip? And did you ever have any other jobs back in the United States other than working for Bennett Wholesale? I mean, before you went in business for yourself?
We worked for Bennett Wholesale when I was business. We worked for General Motors up there in St. Louis.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, about a year.
Did you?
And we went to service station business and
Yeah.
stayed there all the time.
Wow.
36 years.
Now, you finally had an opportunity to purchase a filling station at Aquila and one up here in town.
Yeah.
Now, you divided up then. One of you run the one up here at town. Which one of you was uptown? Delmer was uptown,
I went to Aquila.
and you was at Aquila. Them was pretty fun times, wasn't they? I heard some stories about that.
I had a good business out there.
Yeah.
And
And
our trouble was, we run 7 days a week, and it's hard to find people run the
Yeah.
weekends. You'd have to work.
Yeah.
And,
we was open 7 days a week. You couldn't
Yeah.
find people
we
working.
decided if we're going to start it, we just started. But I had a good business out there.
well, tell me about some of the special people that was out there at Aquila.
Carl Pruitt.
Carl Pruitt. All right.
Now, your best fellow, your dad, and your grandfather. That's two of the best people
Were they?
I had out there.
Yeah.
And your great grandfather,
Yes, sir.
old Ed.
Ed Proffer.
Ed Proffer. He was
Yep.
a dandy. He stayed with me every day up there.
I bet he had a wool sweater on in the
Yeah.
summertime too, didn't he?
And had him real chew tobacco.
Had a little chew of tobacco. That's right. That's right.
He was a dandy. Stout
Yep.
boy. He was stout in them hands, man.
Yep.
Man, he was stout in them.
And I think my grandfather, Proffer, had a chance to play pro ball one time, and he wouldn't do it.
Sure enough.
He was a catcher, but he wouldn't do it.
No, Elmer Proffer, they didn't come no better than he would.
Well, thank you.
Didn't come no better.
Thank you. And see, I'm trying to think of some other boys. Dallas Perry, wasn't he right
oh,
there?
yeah, Dow Perry, Dow Lowe, and Bill Harris, and Bonnie Gillespie, and Shively, and Lawrence, and all that.
Don't forget Pop Eaton.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Of course, he was here and there, both
Yeah.
wasn't
Both places.
He's up here most of the time.
he? Well, Delmer, tell us some of the special folks up at
Well, the biggest one was Frank Stewart.
Frank Stewart. Good.
You know him,
I
don't you?
knew him
And
well.
I had
Sure
so
did.
many. I had so many up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember as a child going to school, I rode to town with my mother, and I was in and out of there, and there was a hill. What was the hill man's name?
Dalton Hill.
Dalton Hill, that's right. That's
He
right.
stayed with us every day. His wife worked down the factory.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
brought her
I
to
told you
work.
about Ed McMillan.
Well, yeah, I was just getting there. Tell us about Ed McMillan, what you done to him.
Carl Pruitt, remember Carl, he'd sit out there and his wife works his factory up here. He'd wait and give himself about 10 or 15 minutes to get out of here.
Yeah.
Ed run the clock back on him an hour.
Ed, oh
Boy, he
my.
like to die, and she shoot him out.
So she had to stand wait for an hour for
I
him to
think
get
he gave him a
there.
clock. He didn't want to take
Ooh-wee.
it anymore. Old Ed was a dandy. He died real young. didn't he?
Yeah. And both of you had sons to serve in the service also, right? Dale served and Donnie in Vietnam.
Old Ed, one time about drove a truck all down, haul hay and stuff out there, led out there to the greens out there. What was his name?
Boy, Arlie King?
All right, King.
Yeah.
Old Ed took him, but he always wore gloves.
Yeah.
And Ed got his gloves one day and took a grease gun and shot the fingers full of grease. I reckon he liked that a bit. Ed just shot him full of leather gloves, you know, like he just shot them fingers full of grease.
Well, boys, I guess it's hard to stay healthy when you have a problem nowadays. Where do you have to go to get a little help?
Yeah.
Where do you go?
Well,
Veterans Hospital?
Well, yeah, veterans, or we go to Popple, or Cape. We go to Cape, Southeast.
We go to VA.
Yeah, well, you know, we've heard some complaints through the years about the veterans care. How was the veterans care for you at Poplar Bluff?
Perfect for me.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Perfect.
Glad to hear that.
I went over about, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, and a little girl fell on my papers. I had to leave my discharge down there. She looked at it. She said, I see you've been in combat. I said, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
She said, well, you took care of us, and we're going to take care of you.
Well, good deal.
And they've done that very thing.
Well, good deal, good deal. Good deal. Well, tell us some of the things you like to do for pleasure.
Well, I like duck hunting. I can't do it no more.
Well,
duck hunting and duck hunting, bird hunting, that's the two things.
We done a lot of hunting.
Well, but dadgummit, you gave your calls away, you gave your guns away.
Gave everything away.
Gave everything away. I was wanting to have a little duck calling demonstration here on the close.
We can use them.
Yeah, I would have probably been looking up in the sky for a flock to come by.
A long time ago, we had Earl Dennison duck call we used, and we ordered a couple, and we had one for years, you know, and we ordered a couple more. Yeah. Earl Dennison, he sent them to us COD.
Yeah.
And old Glenn Ann said, you got a COD down there for $80. I said, what? I went down there and there were 2 duck calls, $40.
Oh my!
That's been 40 years ago.
Earl Dennison.
My goodness.
Man, they were doing good.
Were they? Huh? Who were some of the people you duck hunted with?
James Patrick, Harry Pullum. Oh, we hunted all of them.
Glenn Aslan.
Glenn Aslan, Dale Hill. I don't know. There's a bunch of them. I can't think of all of them right now.
Yeah.
We hunted about all of them around here.
Did the game wardens ever?
Charlie Corbin, you know Charlie?
Yeah. Charles Corbin, he hunted with my grandpa.
Yeah, he hunted with Grandpa something.
Yeah. Did the game wardens ever pester you?
Yeah, they've checked a few times.
Well, now, when did you build your homes here?
We bought them. They was already built.
They was already built.
1948.
Okay, and see, Delmer, you live here in this home, don't you?
Yeah.
And Elmer lives right over here. I don't know, it's probably not 50 feet.
Yeah.
And they've lived side by side ever since they got back, and worked side by side pretty much since they've got back. And how would you say this area is to live? How's the community been to you?
It's been nice.
Been nice. A lot of good people here, isn't there?
Good people. Good people. Bloomfield got some good people.
They sure do.
The community around us has got good people.
Yeah, they sure do. Well, fellas, I think we're going to wind it up today, and I don't know. I tell you, thank you so much for letting us come to your home and visit with you. And Miss Jean, I thank you so much for setting this.
They're probably growling at you for so many people been trying to interview us, and we wouldn't interview.
Well, I sure appreciate the opportunity, and I hope we didn't bring back too many, those.
We'll get over it.
Well, and I hope you noticed this banner here behind us, and folks, it was people like the Underwood brothers here that were able to do what we do every day in this country, and so many of them didn't get to come home. But anyways, we are so thankful to them, and we're going to wind it up today. And thank you, men.
Thank you.
You betcha.
Thank
you. Thank you, Miss Jean. And hope you get to watch this program. I hope you enjoyed the one with Joe Russ Brown. And we need a few sponsors to help us out with this program. I hope you enjoyed it today. And if you'd like to call Tyler at the TV station, you can call there or call myself on my cell phone. It would be 573-225-7945, or call the TV station there. And we'll be signing off, and we've got some interested people lined up, so stick close by and watch us. Thank you.